Hello everybody, welcome back to Cape Rugby here on Cape Town TV. It's been a fantastic rugby weekend. We've had some great results, some great fixtures, and of course it is the World Cup, and we're leading up to the end of the club rugby season as we see it, and of course getting right into the warmth of Rugby World Cup. Everybody very excited. On the panel with me this evening, as usual, Mr. Herman Abrams, the Deputy CEO of Western Province Rugby. Hello, Mr. H.
Good evening, JP.
Paul Delport, Springbok Sevens player. How are you, my man?
I'm fine, Mr. Naude. How are you?
I'm fantastic. And Egan Seconds. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. I'm still laughing about your song last week you were singing in studio, JP.
Stamp that boat along? Yeah. No, it's been great fun. We've had some amazing feedback from the fans out there and everybody enjoying Cape Rugby. So those of you that are out there, welcome back, and nice to have you along. Of course, we had a meeting at Western Province Rugby yesterday, Mr. H, and everybody seemed thrilled about the fact that there's so much publicity now for club rugby.
Yes, I was quite surprised at the amount of people that turned up, you know. We don't normally get that kind of attendance even at the council or annual general meeting.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see nearly 100 people there.
But talking about yesterday's meeting, and for many people that weren't there last night, I suppose one would want to point out the fact that it's all about everybody participating, sharing information, much like one of the reasons why the show has been such a success is because people have participated in the sharing of the rugby story.
I had some feedback from people saying that they now see a new world opening up for their clubs, you know.
Yeah.
And after last night, they're very sad that the season actually ends because
Yes.
they must now wait a couple of months, but they don't really have to wait.
Yeah.
They can just go on, you know, doing the things that they want to do and putting all those things in place that we were talking about last night.
And of course, there were a number of things we spoke about. Quite a few people asked, are we going to finish the show by the end of the season? Well, at the end of the matches? Well, we're not. We've got a lot more to talk about. We've got to talk about the sevens, and we've got to talk about some youth rugby, and we've got to talk about off-season training. So quite a lot of stuff. Paulie, what do you guys... No, okay, Paul, let me ask you again. What do you guys do when the last game finishes? How long break, and then how long before you start training again?
Yeah, we obviously going to take about a week or two off. There's some guys who's made plans to go to certain tournaments abroad. I know I'm going with the SA Rugby Legends to Bermuda. So I've got to stay fit for that. And then I've got another sevens team that's going to Dubai the end of November. So you give the guys a few weeks break, but you start preparing. The rugby season's actually never over, like it's said. You just start preparing for the next competition.
And what about the business side of it, Mr. H? Do the clubs start getting... when do they start worrying about who's going to be on their committees and their executives and so on?
Well, one would, you know, I expect them to do that now.
Yeah.
You can't wait till next year, March, to put a committee together that must run your business for the year. That committee must know what they must be doing now. In fact, they should have a 3-year plan or 4-year plan, so that they know where they are going.
Yeah, in fact, we touched base on that yesterday, is that it's time for you to start looking at some media liaison or tech-savvy people at the clubs and get them to share information. And over the course of the next few months, and part of the new Western Province Rugby strategy is, of course, to make sure that we teach the clubs how to work with the media, how to get extra publicity, and how to go out there and get those sponsorships. So we'll be doing some business management proposals, structures, and teach people how to get sponsors out in club rugby.
Yes, and I only hope that the sponsors are also listening, you know. Well, if they will come to the party.
I'll tell you, if the sponsors aren't listening, they're obviously not paying attention to what rugby is really about, because as we pointed it out yesterday, there is in the Western Cape actively people who, and folks, we did some numbers, statistics in terms of people who have either participated in a game, attended in a game, or are interested in the game of rugby. And the total audience that you have available to work with in the Western Cape is 1.33 million. So the rugby market is there, and I've got no reason to believe that the sponsors won't come along if we offer them decent media, which we're doing now. So it's up to you to join us and share that content with us. It's time for us tonight to look at some of the results over the weekend. Let's take a look first at Super League A. Hamilton's 42-21 over False Bay. Villagers losing to SK Warmers 22-17, and UCT beating Durbell 20 points to 19. Egan, nice result there for you guys over False Bay. Kevin Musicat must be unhappy, but Anton Willman must be thrilled.
Yeah, I wanted to end the season off on a high after we missed out on the league title. Wasn't an easy game. You know, False Bay is not an easy team to beat, even though it was a home match for us. But it was good to come away with 5 points there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sneak it in, JP. The Hamilton second team did win their league against False Bay on Saturday, so I was paid to say that.
All right, you were paid to say that. Okay. Well, at least someone on the show is getting paid.
I shouldn't have said it, no.
Yeah, you shouldn't have said it, no. Okay. Mr. HSK Women's going to club champs. There was a nice win for them over Villagers over the weekend. Coming out of the fast, straight into a win. They must be happy with that result.
Yeah, but they also suffered a serious setback. They lost both their props to injuries. So they are going to struggle at...
Other players from other
no,
clubs?
Not from other clubs.
Not from other clubs?
Because you had to play 3 matches for the club that you are representing at club champs.
So those are the rules, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Incidentally, folks, if you're out or if you've got friends out of town who want to watch us, we're live on Ustream at the moment. And the easiest way to find that is just go to the Western Province Club Rugby website, www.wpclubrugby.co.za. On the front page, there is a banner that you can click on, and all that will take you straight to the live stream link where we are currently streaming live online, which means that anyone in the world can watch us. And as we go along with our future media plans, we'll be doing more of that and bringing content and media to platforms where those other broadcasters don't want to recognize us. Paul Delport, you know the UCT structure quite well. They beat Durban, but just 1 point over the weekend.
Yeah, I think the guys have been on a fantastic run. Actually ran into Kevin Foot today, their coach.
Yeah.
Looks like Footy's actually grown some hair after winning the 12 in a row.
Really?
No stress. He's looking very happy.
12 wins in a row.
Today, 12 wins in a row. But yeah, it was actually quite tough. The conditions were, I think, winter. It's supposed to be spring now, but they're sometimes quite tough up at UCT. So I think the guys did very well just to come out with a win.
Yeah, it can get a little bit cold and windy out there, right under the mountain. Yeah. Anyway, it's time now for us to take a look at Super League B results. Now is where things start getting rather interesting. Brackenfell going down to Tygerberg 43-14. A big result for Tygerberg there. Kales River, a 1 point win for them over Collegians. Primrose beating Young Peoples 29 points to 20, and Peniel Villages 24-19 over Belleville. Let's take the next results there. Kraaifontein beating St George's 22-10. Goodwood 53-14 over Stellenbosch Coronations. Rangers beating Langa 47-15. Hamlets going down to Scottsdene 25-17, and Par losing to Elsis River 37-35. In Premier League B, Kraaifontein a 22-10 win over St George's. Goodwood a win for them over Stelco. Rangers 47-15 over Langa. Hamlets going down to Scottsdene. Paul 30. Oops, hang on, I'm still in the wrong league there. For a second there, I thought we had some repeat matches. Strand United losing to Lagunya 30 points to 13. Silurians beating Milnerton 59-0. There's a massive result there. Silurians obviously coming into form there. Well, not coming into form, but doing pretty well. UWC 41-10 over Van der Stel, and a Silver Tree going down to Macassar. In Division 1, it was Boerland Mark over going down to Eerste-Rivier. Northern's drawing with Young Stars. Hamadias losing to Strand. Wraithby beating Young Wesleys. Kyle Moore beating Paarl Rangers. Division 2, it's Rocklands over 21-11 over Temperance. Watsonia losing to Blue Jets. Whistling Wheels, they had a 1 point win over Manenberg Rangers. Strand Pioneers losing to Blue Stars, and All Saints, while it was a 49 points to 3 win for them. Yeah, that was a pretty good result for them. Of course, we went out over the weekend to go and check out some of the games, and as we do on a regular basis, and we're going to tell you any second now which game we're going to this weekend, and we've got some more fantastic rugby news for you about what is going to happen shortly in the world of Cape Rugby. But this weekend, we went to check out Rocklands take on Temperance at Rocklands. Let's catch up with some of the match highlights. Annie was down field side.
Change my view.
So how do you feel about how your team did?
You know, I feel fantastically proud of the guys. Firstly, because it's always an achievement beating Temperance, one of the strongholds also of the league. Yeah.
We're very proud of our team, and we think they did excellent for going forward to the next round.
You changed my view.
Isn't that just fantastic? Temperance and Rocklands out there having an absolute joy over the weekend. And what I heard was that the fans just jumped all over Annie, our rugby girl out there. It must be lucky for the guys to go out. And I mean, Rocklands, Temperance previously wouldn't have never been on TV. But what a joy to go out there.
I would do the same. I would harass the TV crew so I can get my TV time, you know?
Yeah, well, you've seen Annie. I can see why they're relaxed.
Okay.
Yeah, she's honey.
Thanks for that,
absolute honey. Yeah. But what a joy. What an absolute joy going out there on field side. And we're looking to do more of those, folks. We're going to look into do plenty more. We've got lots of different media platforms to give your club exposure. We also mentioned to catch up with the captain and coach. Of course, we'll speak to the losing captain and coach first.
Changed my view.
Tough match, eh?
Yeah, it was a tough day at the office. We didn't come here to lose, but unfortunately that's the way it turned out. And we'll take it on the chin. We'll get together on Thursday, work on some things, and we'll come back fighting. We didn't stick to our game plan, really. You know, if you practice a certain style of play and a certain game plan that you want to implement, and you can only do that at trainings, and then if we don't bring it together on the day, it's going to be a long day at the office. I think today's game was critical. I think Rocklands came to win it. Congratulations to them, yeah, all credit to them. It's going to be a tough ride from here. We're going to have to take a couple of bonus points over the next two games. But my boys are up to it. They're campaigners, so we'll see what happens.
Tough game, tight, and I think it wasn't today our day. To improve is like our guys, Kaulei, in the second half, they didn't play rugby, and we must play till the end of the whistle, the end of the game, and we have to play 80 minutes rugby. Now for me, I think it will affect a few of our guys, and it will break a couple of spirits amongst the guys, but I think we will come back next week and try our best again.
You changed my view.
How fantastic is that? Ian, you reckon that everybody wants to get a bit of FaceTime?
I said I was the same when I was younger, sticking my head in beer, you know. So
you must get those people waving like this, peace signs and all that. I must say, I often look on Facebook and I see people with their little, stuff like that. Paulie, what is that? What is this?
It's a secret society. It's a secret society, Japs. If you're not in there by now, it's
I mean, I'm still trying to work it out.
I was saying, can that guy in the beanie, in the background, can't he just send us a message here on Facebook? Just give us a shout out. Well, he was on the left-hand side, then he was on the right-hand side. every single interview he was there.
But there were a couple of serious injuries there. One chap had serious stitches and it was pretty rough out there. But we also managed to catch up with the winning captain and coach of Rocklands. Let's hear what they had to say.
Changed my view.
How do you feel your team went?
I feel great today. It was a good win for us. Actually, we look forward now. Actually, we start with our basics. We do our basics right, and we focus on our game plan. Actually, our game plan worked out for us today under the circumstances. The win was very good. We're excited and we look forward for Division 1.
Everybody pulled their weight, so it was a great team effort.
we wanted to win, and that's very important. You must want to win. Otherwise, you're never going to win. We're a couple of young guys together. We've been together for almost 2 years, the most of us, so we know each other, and we're a great bunch of guys. So.
You changed my view.
Yeah, wanted a win, important for Rocklands. How depressing is it to have a loss on a home field? In this case, of course, it worked for them. But, Paulie, is it depressing when you lose on a home field?
Yeah, Jess, I think, especially for a game like that, where your people came out in full force to support you, you always want to give them a win. But I think the spirit that game was played and what it looked like, I don't think it really mattered. To put another cliche out there, the rugby won at the end of the day, so it's fine.
Yeah, people don't often get that, actually. You know, you hear that a lot. I've heard over years of radio, I've listened to pop stars, and they say, so what does it mean important that you can tell the kids of the future? And they go, well, I really think that, you know, what they must do is they must keep it real. what does that mean? You know, there's no real practical thing there. You know, keep it real. People say rugby was the winner at the end of the day. But I think what we mean by that is that everybody was able to participate, everybody was able to benefit, everybody enjoyed it. That is what it means by. Am I right, Mr. H? That is what it means by rugby was the winner at the end of the day.
Everybody enjoyed it. You go away from the field. There's no incidents. There's nothing. And, you know, there was a winner, and the winners are all happy. The losers go and sulk somewhere.
I'm going to have to interrupt you. As you can see, we're, of course, currently live via the mobile on a Ustream, so it's popping through there. So if you're out there and you want any friends to watch, it's as easy as that. We're not limited only to the one space. But Mr. H, just to carry on with what you were saying, what I've really enjoyed is the fact that so many youth and kids have come to the side of the field during the season.
I think, you know, they've always been there, but now there's an added attraction.
Yeah.
And I think parents would say, go to the rugby, you might be on TV. See where they walk, you know, the cameras are. Put up your hands and wave.
Put up your hands and wave for the crowd, as we have. Right, folks, we are live on Facebook. Why don't you jump on and say hello? We're looking for your messages. We're looking for your hellos, etc., etc. Still a lot more coming up in the course of the show tonight. But as you know, we now have a sponsor on board who is giving, not to us, but to you, the club rugby fan and the player out there, R1,000 a match for the man of the match. And we caught up with the man of the match this weekend, man of the match from Rocklands.
I'm standing here with the man of the match, Rodlin LeKay from the Rocklands team. How do you feel about today?
Well, I'm emotional because it's been a while since Rocklands played such good rugby, and I'm looking forward to Division 1.
I'd just like to say thank Tata for giving us the R1,000 to give to the man of the match, and I'm sure they're very grateful for the R1,000. Thank you.
Nice, Mikey, nice. You changed my view.
Yeah, there we go. Man of the match wins R1,000. R1,000 that possibly they otherwise did not have in the past. Let's take a look at the results now from Division 3. Perseverance going down to Gardens Tech, 13 points to 44. Richmond Rangers losing to Violets, 36-10. Young Ideas, nice win for them over Clutisville, 41-20. Caledonian Roses, 20-0 and retreat, 22-9 over Young Brothers. Thistle beating Titans. Massey beating Delft. Progress, nice win for them over Cities. And the Makawi 7-0 over Peninsula. That looks like it was a pretty tight game with Kaya Lecha beating Mitchell's Plain United. Right, I'd like to go back a few results now. Let's take a little bit of a look here at Super League B. Brackenfell against Tygerberg, Mr. H, a 43 points to 14 win for them. That's an important result, win for them at this stage.
Yeah, for Tygerberg, obviously they're sitting at the top of the log right now. They're 2 points ahead. They can't afford to lose any game. I think they got one more game, 2 more games left.
Yeah.
And the same with NNK. They got one more game left. They can't lose the game. They must.
And talking about, before we link to our ad break, talking about Tygerberg and, of course, Collegians there. That's our game this weekend, Collegians and Tygerberg.
That's where we will be.
That's one of the big ones. Ige?
That's a big game.
I've played in one
the
of
entire
those.
battle. You've played there, what?
I've played in one of those derbies.
In one of those derbies, playing for Tygerberg against Collegians?
Yes, I played for Tygerberg for many years.
What was the score?
Tigerberg, when I was playing, we beat them about.
If you do
we played at Tigerberg, luckily. So.
You know, even clubs from the other clubs that had the opportunity for us to come to them said, listen, this is a game that you've got to go check out. Tigerberg and Collegians. If you had to do a head-to-head sort of scenario, over the years going back, who would you guess has had the most victories over the other?
I would think Tigerberg.
Tigerberg over Collegians, yeah. Polly, what makes it so special?
Geez, Jeff, I think both teams they're just such passionate clubs. They've been the top coloured clubs, two of the top coloured clubs around for ages. Collegians, I stand to be corrected, they were in the Super League A 2 years ago, Iggy, or last year. They just recently dropped down. Tigerberg as well were always a huge force in Western Province Club Rugby, so they're also on the way back up. So yeah, it's just always been a huge game, and I think they're both of their home grounds. It's always fun when you tell your mates, I'm playing at the Cage or I'm playing at the Graveyard. People want to know where you're playing.
Now, why would you have a place called where I'm playing at the Graveyard?
That's it, because the Collegians are going to bury you there.
I've got to ask you, Mr. H, I mean, over the years, many clubs in Western Province has been labelled as a violent club, clubs that only fight. Are those days gone?
Yeah, no, I think it's gone, I mean, Collegians is turned,
I mean, they did have a bad reputation a long time ago, but I really haven't heard anything negative about Collegians in years.
And that's the only way that you can scrap that kind of reputation you have, is let the results speak for itself. Them doing well, everybody will start forgetting about what happened in the past and just concentrate on the good that's going on there. And a lot of good has been going on at the club. I know Nasif van der Scape has been
He's always been doing good there, and he's very active. But
the rivalry here comes from pre-unity days.
Yes.
When the Tigerberg Union played against the Western Province Union at Greenpoint.
Right. At the track.
That was,
not at the track, at the Greenpoint.
At the track.
At the track, yeah.
Greenpoint track, And those were tremendous matches, And both these, they were each in a different section there. Comes from that time.
That old story of violence in club rugby, and I mean, we've heard many clubs over the years have been labelled as clubs where there's violence and things get out of hand and that. But I mean, over the years we've had the odd thing here and there, but I really haven't throughout the season heard. I mean, obviously you've had the odd red card, the odd yellow card, but it's been a clean season, really. It's been a positive season. None of the clubs have had this connotation of you don't want to go there because you might be in a situation that you need a police escort home. It's been a good season.
No, look, there were a few incidents that could have been prevented or shouldn't have taken place. But yeah, we don't have those things anymore where we are on the front page of the newspaper,
Yeah. But of course, I mean, those were those are one-off incidents where it was player on player as opposed to mass negative scenarios, And in general, what we've seen is we realise. I think a lot of the clubs realise is that if you lose your discipline on the field, it's game over for you because you just lose composure. Paulie?
Yeah, Jeff. I think you said it now, that the club rugby league, it's become so competitive that you actually can't afford to do something like that. I mean, Iggy knows if you throw a punch, you get a yellow card, the opposition team's going to score 10, 15 points against your teammates that you've now let down. And I think the guys understand that because there aren't 2 or 3 teams that just completely dominate anymore. It's now pretty open for anybody to come through and actually do well and win. So I think that's made a big difference as well.
Well, I think it's been very exciting. I must say, really, it's been a fantastic positive season. We've got 2 more games, 2 more season matches to go over the next 2 weeks, and it's going to be thrilling. I am absolutely delighted to be going out to check Collegians against Tigerberg this weekend. It's going to be a heart stopper. And if you're out there, we want to say to you guys, all come down. I'm waiting to see. Of course, it's Collegians' home game. All right. Yep. Haven't heard a word from Collegians though about this. Okay, I'm sure that somebody at some stage from Collegians might actually jump on Facebook and say, "Oh, welcome." But we'll wait for it. There's still a few more days. You're up against Elsie's River, who put out there lots of flyers around there and invited the whole community. So we'd like to see that everybody gets down to Collegians over the weekend, eh? Not just folks in the local community, but the whole of Cape Town. May someone come and support Tigerberg and Collegians. Wouldn't that be fantastic?
Fantastic.
All right. So So, collegians, you might have a great taking at the gate on Saturday. What's the average cost of gate takings? Do they charge at the gate?
Yeah, I think it's probably 10 rand.
10 rand, something reasonable to get in. But if you have 5,000 spectators, that's what, 50,000 rand, eh? 50,000 rand comes.
And a boerewors.
And a boerewors, yeah.
And a spit bra.
Well, I don't know. Like that. In some cases, you have a scarf. You know. But we could not do it without our sponsors. And I just have to say that we are really thankful to our sponsors, of course, who would not have been able to. We wouldn't have been able to do this without their support. They are small sponsors, and they came on board to help us in the smallest way. One of them is, of course, leisure groups. Now, you can win for yourself a leisure hotel's stay and accommodation. Last week's winner was Fatima Ahmad. Congratulations, Fatima. You win yourself a night's accommodation with bed and breakfast at the Fountain Towers. And to win that, anybody, you just SMS the word leisure to 32010. The Fountain Towers, that is where you want to get to. Now, during the course of the show, we'll still be taking a look at that I Love Western Province Rugby Club Rugby campaign. That's coming up in a minute. We'll see what your favourite photograph was, and we'll take a look at that any second now. We're of course thrilled to say that not only is it Collegians against Tygerberg this week, but the great news is that not this weekend, but next weekend, Cape Rugby TV is going to be breaking ground. I'm going to tell you about that in a second or so. There's a big surprise coming for the entire Western Province population in the Western Cape. Let's take a look now at our I Love Western Province Club Rugby campaign. It's brought to you courtesy of Vodacom. Of course, all you need to do is make sure that you go to the I Love WP Club Rugby.co.za website and go and register your photographs. And of course, there are some fantastic rewards. Now, this is the front page of the website, and you can see some of the results there that have come in from many of the teams. These are the points that you can get. 2,000 points gets you some tog bags, 4,000 points gets you a bus trip, as you saw Scott Steen get, and 8,000 points can get you the much needed kit for your team. SMS in and you get 5 points. Register gets you 2 points. All you need to do is register on the site. And MMS is 10 points. If you register for M-Pesa, which is of course that online payment system, it's 20 points. And if you switch to Red, which is the porting from another network, that gets you 50 points. So that is absolutely amazing. That's what you need to do. All you need to do is get in the mix there. Of course, now you would have realized that 4,000 points were deducted from Scott Steen. Of course, they redeemed their bus reward, but they are still on top. If we look at that previous slide there, they are still on top with 437 points. Rocklands are top 4-point earners for the week. And, of course, this was the photograph that was sent in by the fans and voted for over the course of the last 2 weeks. That's Johnny Lee. You would have seen him playing against Stellenbosch Coronations, playing against Scott Steen. So nice to see that picture being voted for there. Let's look now at some of the rankings. Scott Steen is still on top. Rocklands, well, they're top point earners for the week after earning a massive 880 points over the last week. Hamlets look certainly lead the table early in the season, but Scott Steen, Young Peoples and now Rocklands have managed to overtake them. Okay, so this is our Western Province Club Rugby campaign, brought to you by Vodacom. And you can also win for yourself a set of double tickets to go and watch the Cheetahs take on Newlands. All you need to do is send in your fan picks, all right? You vote for your favorite fan picks on the I Love WP Club Rugby.co.za website, and you could put yourself in the mix to win for yourself a set of double tickets to go watch the Cheetahs take on Newlands, or at least take on Western Province at Newlands. You need to do that before, well, you need to do it as early as possible to make sure that you're in the mix to win those prizes. So, man of the match picture, again, twice in a row. Johnny Lee, favorite picture, and of course last week won himself 1,000 Rand worth of man of the match cash. Let's take a look at some of our fan picks now. Carla Norkia once again sent in a fantastic picture here. Henny Kutsia clearing the ball for Brackenfell against Tygerberg. Thanks, Carla. And yeah, so the fan picks just keep rolling in. It's all you need to do is do them on Facebook, and you just send them to us, and we'd love to see those pictures. Mr. H, At the Union, of course, in the last couple of days, we made sure that, in actual fact, I was at the President's Box on Saturday. My first visit to the President's Box.
Well done.
I know you weren't there.
I've never been there.
You've never been there?
No.
Just like it, okay.
You're lucky.
Yes, well, I was lucky, but I must say, I was quite thrilled to say how many people were, again, behind the new media campaign, supporting the Cape show. Auntie Audrey! Ek het vir Auntie Audrey ontmoet vir die eerste keer. It's of course the president's wife. She was there, but everybody, very positive. Really standing behind Western Province Rugby and the future of rugby in Western Province.
Well, it's good, you know, and I'm glad that the president actually called or invited people there that had something to do with the show. It's great because they can now see that it's not something that's in isolation, although it's not the Western Province show as such. No. They are, I mean, everybody that were invited was very happy when I called to say that they must be, that they can come.
Well, you know, as I said earlier on, it is one of those scenarios where it's about the sponsors, and the sponsors, of course, are helping us out, and here you will see for yourself a bucket of Evox Mega Grow, so we've got to talk about the guys. Off-season is coming soon. We've been through a rough season. Ian, do you lose a lot of weight during season?
Yeah, that's why a lot of times, JB, leading up to a season, you try and bulk up because you don't train as hard during a season. So you taper off a little bit and the weight will come off. And then eventually in the off-season, that's when you build up all the strength that will keep you going for an whole season.
But that, of course, means if you're a player that wants to weigh 110 kilograms for the duration of the season, it's important that you put on an extra 10 kilograms in the off-season.
Yes.
Because halfway through the season, it's difficult to maintain the weight.
That's right, yeah. And that's, I mean, your products, I mean, most of the guys all of them are using your products just to maintain.
Yeah.
Just so that they can keep that kind of level of maintenance and to stay competitive, basically. And that's when you pick up injuries, when you don't.
Well, that's what it is, folks. If you want to win yourself a bucket of Evox Mega Grow, it's 5 kilos. As you can see, it's quite a big bucket. We do some painting around the houses and stuff like that. But all you need to do is tell us who is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby, and you could win yourself 5 kilograms of Mega Grow. This is what puts on the bulk. Can be used young and old as a meal replacement. Doesn't matter who uses it. It's a safe product. It's a meal replacement, young and old. Of course, difficult to eat all the time, and this is what you need. And of course, what you want to make sure is absolutely very important before you think of anything else is the fact that you want to make sure that you use a product that is quality, all right? So what it says on the label must be inside the tub. Because if you buy something and it says on the label is not in the tub, well, you've actually bought the wrong product. Let's take a look at last week's winner. Those SMSs came in, and last week's winner was Akil Carter. Congratulations, Akil. You win for yourself a 5 kilogram bucket of Mega Grow. All you need to do is SMS your answer. Tell us who's the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby. SMS your answer to 32010. It's time now for us to take a look at Union on the Spot. Mr. H, what's happening at the Western Province Rugby Union? Normally I ask you the question, what have you done for the clubs lately? All right, I've really been asking you that question. I mean, I've asked you that question every week. Every week so far you've had an answer for me. But tonight I'm going to ask you something different. Like, is there any sponsors that have done anything for youth rugby?
Yes, we have our School of Excellence.
Yes.
And Toyota is the sponsor there. School of Excellence looks after the youth.
Tell us more about the School of Excellence.
The School of Excellence is a section of the union that's run by two well-known players, Annie Becker and Wilfred Kibedo. And they look out for new talent. They identify elite squads. They train them. They check them. They measure them.
Right. Are they youngsters? What
they start under 12.
Under 12?
Under 12,
okay.
And those kids will then go into the under 13 Craven Week.
Is it an actual school or is it
No. It's just,
it's a process.
It's a process.
All right.
That's why they call it
school. But you were lucky enough to get a sponsor to support this process. It's clearly something that helps with the building blocks of Western Province Rugby.
Yeah.
And in the President's Box, when I was there over the weekend, I managed to get a picture there. And Toyota Congratulations. Toyota comes on board and donated. There you have in the photograph from Toyota, Henny Becker, and of course Mr. Toby Titus, the president of the Western Province Rugby Football Union. A donation from Toyota to the value of 500,000 Rand. That's an absolutely fantastic donation. Mr. H, that's the kind of money you need to develop youth rugby, right?
Absolutely, and that is why, you know, and the system works. Because currently, the Western Province Currie Cup team that's playing is the youngest team that ever played for Western Province. And they all come through that system.
Yeah, so that's absolutely, that's great. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that we need to see. We need to see more investment. And we're hoping, of course, I mean, one of the things we haven't spoken about at all during this course of the show was about the School of Excellence. And when I went there on the weekend and I saw, Paulie, were you involved in any of the youth structures coming through the ranks?
All the
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, are you still involved?
No, I think Mr. H said it. When it gets to that level of guys, you know, you need someone like Henny Becker and Wilfred Cupid and Tennis Lani, the guys who have been there for a while and who know how to develop youth. I mean, you know me personally, I don't have patience to deal with 12, 13-year-olds. Not a chance. You must be a professional. You must catch pass, run fast, bench press already when you come to me. I don't want to deal with that kind of thing.
But I mean, I remember you at one stage, you right when you were much younger and you were playing there in the 19 Western Province and 21 and so on. There was quite a lot of support for you as a youngster.
Yeah, very much. I mean, I must say, obviously, it's gotten much better now in Western Province and throughout the country. But we were still pretty well looked after going through school. I mean, we all played Province under 15, under 16, Craven Week, and it was all very, very professional. You know, we always had fantastic coaches, always had a good management team with us, and the guys were always looked after very well whenever you played for Province. So yeah, I mean, just hopefully keep moving that forward and just getting better and better.
Well, there you go, folks. The youth structures at Western Province getting better and better, and I'm sure we've got a lot more improvement to do, but that improvement will only come with a lot of sponsorship. So once again, thank you to Toyota, who's not one of our sponsors, but we're quite happy to thank them anyway for supporting rugby in Western Province and donating 500,000 Rand there to the School of Excellence, and hopefully we'll see that it's put into good use to bring through the youth. One of our other sponsors here at Cape Rugby TV is, of course, Sportsline. Least colour tone paints with your Sportsline markers. So, you want to win yourself a hamper? This is now time for White Line Fever. White Line Fever is brought to you by Colour Tone Paints. The White Line Sportsline Field marker of choice. All you need to do to win that is SMS the word colour tone to 32010. Your light, at least your Sportsline marker hamper could be on your way to you if you SMS the word colour tone to 32010. Last week's winner was Silverleaf. Congratulations to Silverleaf. You win for yourself a hamper from Colour Tone Paints. They'll be out there soon, getting in touch with you and come and give you your product. The White Line Sportsfield marker of choice, colour tone paints. Right. Let's take a look now at some of the matchups and logs over the weekend, Mr. H. It's now starting to get important, okay? It's crunch time. If we just look at Super League A, Stellenbosch on top, Hamilton's on top, UCT Durban, SK Warmers, False Bay. All right, Stellenbosch is on top there. They are playing, well, they're actually not playing over the weekend, but what can they still do?
They finished.
They're done now, all right?
They're done.
Can anyone catch them?
UCT can catch them.
UCT can catch them.
They got 2 more games.
And UCT is playing Belhar this weekend.
Right.
All right.
So if you look at that, they need to have 2 victories with full points.
Right, right.
Bonus points in both games that's left for them.
This is
UCT.
UCT.
Yeah.
So UCT still have a chance to make it to the top.
To the top.
All right. So that's.
Sorry, okay. Can I just ask you to interject, Mr. H? If UCT get a bonus point in one of their games and they don't get a bonus point in the other one, they finish on 69 like Marty's.
Then we go
who wins the league?
Then we go. They share the league.
Do they share the league?
They share the league.
Okay. Now I was just wondering because I thought it would go to who beat who during the season.
No,
Is it not? Is it just on points?
Share the league.
You don't sound confident in UCT then taking
No,
bonus.
I was just wondering.
Did you notice that, eh?
I just like to put it out there. UCT beat Marty's twice this year, so it's...
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. But let's take a look at Super League B. It gets pretty interesting there as well. Collegians take on Tygerberg, and of course, Tygerberg are currently in the top of the log there. NNK is in second place, Belleville and Brackenfell. Right. So, Mr. H, if we just look at some of the matches coming up now over the next 2 weeks. All right. So you've got Collegians and Tygerberg. All right. Tygerberg, at least, Tygerberg is sitting in first place. All right. So now, how important is it for Tygerberg, considering that NNK is number 2 on the log? How important is it for Tygerberg to beat Collegians on Saturday?
They must win. And they must win also, you know. It must be a 5-pointer.
I mean, Collegians can't win the league.
No.
But they can stop Tygerberg, their mortal enemy.
There would be nothing that they would love to do more than to just stop them.
But if they do that, that means that NNK the following week in their match have got a possibility of winning the league there.
Yeah.
So this Super League B looks like the league where there's still a couple of combinations that could turn out to be quite exciting.
But then, if you look at the bottom part of that league, who's going down, that's, you know...
Well, in this case, we've got 2 teams on the same points, Kales River and Young Peoples.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rather...
So it's like anybody can
Primrose?
go down. Yeah.
Could they still go down?
Yes.
Primrose could still go down. Hands and Hearts could still go down. So, of course, Hands and Hearts themselves playing against NNK, not this week, but next week, it's a must-win for them as well.
Yes.
Because
at that time, they could find themselves at the bottom of the log.
So, and, of course, the other thing that I suppose that, folks, if you're not aware of this, it's not just one team that goes up. It's 2. 2 up, 2 down.
No, 1.
1.
1.
Okay. 1 up, 1 down. All right. So it's going to be a tough match, huh? Oh my word, it's definitely going to be an interesting season. Let's quickly look at the matchups then in Premier League A. Goodwood and St George's at the top there. The log points, Mr. H, 76-58. There's a pretty big gap there.
Goodwood is, you know, they've taken it already.
They've taken it, yeah. It's firmly done.
And at the bottom, you know, Stellenbosch Coronations can't.
Stellenbosch Coronations, they're going down to Premier League B. That's a certainty. Yeah. If we look at Premier League B, then Solarians are head-to-head with UWC. Another one.
Same thing.
You know? Boy, how do you see that one going?
Hey.
Well, I mean, not that they are...
The last time I had a big match to call like that, I called a draw, and I was almost right because I was too scared to call it.
Because, I mean, the fact is that the next match that's coming up is Solarians against Strand United.
Yeah.
Which is also... That's a real
must win.
But it's 2 close community teams that are going to be going each other head to head.
Yeah, it's you know what makes me really happy is that in previous years, 4 weeks to the end of the season, it was done and dusted.
Yeah.
Now it's down to the final whistle, not even the final game. It goes down to the final whistle that you decide.
Yeah. You see, now we must go back to the office and give Mr. Felton his due. He rates the teams at the beginning of the season. They play according to the rating, and at the end, it sort of comes out, and you see that is. And he will tell you, if you see him, he'll say, whoever drew up this fixture is a master.
Well, I must say, I don't know how you guys managed to draw up those fixtures. Out of 90 teams and out of all those different venues to play, how you combine that to actually get through this season? I mean, you can't clearly. Over the years, I know you've tried various computer systems to generate it, but it still doesn't work. I mean, you still actually have to sit by hand over the course of 2 or 3 months and work it out one at a time.
And you must know that there are clubs that share fields. They can't play on the same Saturday at the same venue. And there are those that must get off. And now we have the fast that's in the rugby season for the next couple of years. You have the universities whose holidays seem to get longer and longer in the rugby season.
Just a quick hello to the folks out on Facebook there. We are paying attention. I see there's a couple of interesting questions. Esmeralda Jacobs. Bradley Zass, Cape Rugby TV is my little window into the club rugby scene that I've lost touch with since my move from Ravensmead to a gevrekte other town. I'm not going to say where. He says, great show, guys. Don't forget to support Super League B clash this week between Tygerberg and Collegians. Absolutely, we're 100% behind you on that. If you're out there, folks, please jump on Facebook. Remember, the more you have on here, the more you make club rugby stronger. All right? We're not just trying to have followers, but we want to uplift, because the more people of you that are there, the more people we can tell about club rugby. It's about sharing information. JP, come watch Friday Sevens on Friday at Tygerberg. There's a Sevens tournament starting now. Paulie, you should be there. You're not playing, obviously. The Sevens tournament starting Western Province on Friday?
Western Province one at Florida Park.
Yeah.
32 teams. And very good.
And Trafalgar have also got a youth tournament that's coming up.
Yeah, they've got about 75 teams that are playing in their tournament.
A lot of teams,
big,
yeah.
Big thing,
yeah. Folks, by the way, if you want to get that Club Rugby newsletter, all you need to do is SMS SMS the word rugby, I think it was rugby, to 32010, and just send us your email address, and we'll add you onto the Club Rugby newsletter. Siraj Leggett leading the way firmly there. And that should be Trafalgar really do seem to be taking a big part of leadership in the youth structures.
Yeah, no, you see, it's good when you have the principal of the school behind the sport. You know.
Yes.
He says everybody plays rugby.
Not him.
Yeah, then nothing you can.
When he says rugby, you play rugby.
Another Mr. H.
Yeah, another Mr. H. I know. Well, we can't have enough Mr. H's. That is basically the wrap of our club rugby side of things, folks. Now, before I move on to looking at Rugby World Cup, which it is time for us to talk about a little bit, let us tell you this, and I want you to take this very seriously, and I want you to tell the world about it. Not this Saturday, where we're filming Tygerberg against Collegians, which is going to be an awesome match, but next week, Cape Rugby will be doing its first live rugby game from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock on Saturday, which still gives you more than enough time to get to the Western Province game, which is at 5 o'clock. From 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, we will be showing on Cape Town TV our very first live rugby game. And one of those fantastic fixtures that we spoke about earlier on is going to be played between 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock on the Saturday. So, if you're out in your house and you haven't got a chance to see club rugby, this time you will. But we're, of course, asking the clubs to get behind it 100%. I think this is going to be one of the most fantastic, groundbreaking initiatives that we've had in rugby, probably, considering it's community rugby, considering that it's one of the most groundbreaking initiatives we've had in the history of club rugby. Mr. H, for us to do a live club rugby game, this is something else.
Yeah, it's a fantastic concept, and I think, you know, if it's the last game of the season, I don't know where we're going yet, but you know, it would give us such a leverage for next year.
Yeah.
And if we can do more during the season next year, it will be fantastic.
So the intention there, folks, is that we're going to bring it to you in the best possible way with the lowest possible budget. We're still trying to scrape budget. Please, if there's anybody else out there that can help us with covering the costs of this, all right, we're committing to this at this stage, where we're still not sure where we're going to find the money, but we're committing to this process because we know it's a must-do. Because we want to make sure that next year we can go to the market and tell the world, look at what we can do for club rugby. Live games, live club rugby games every Saturday, all right? So if there's any possible sponsors out there, please get hold of us. Even in the smallest possible manner, the smallest possible donation to help us get some cameramen and those kind of people that are supporting us on the day, anything will help, all right? And the club we go to, that club we go to itself, will be able to raise sponsorship and have more crowd at that club. Okay, so this is massively important. We're begging you, please go out there and see who wants to be involved. Just find me on Facebook and inbox me, or you can phone me at Cape Town TV, or you can get a hold of Mr. H, but we need to get some sponsorship in for doing our very first last of the season live club rugby game. If we can do this, we can go to the market next year and we can really brag. So we're looking forward to that. It's going to be fantastic. We'll do pre-match, we'll film the game, we'll have commentators, we'll have mid-match, we'll put Paul Delport in a suit and a tie, and have him running up and down the field naked like a stripper from Samoa. Okay, Paulie, you're on the... Okay, don't worry, I'm not going to...
Of course, as long as I get to be naked, I'll have a tie on. Yeah. We'll put it there.
Yeah, you have to wear a tie if you're going to be naked. You can't wear...
Definitely.
It's time to turn our attention now, so folks, don't forget about that live. We're looking for you. We need your... Go speak to sponsors. will give them huge benefit in return, endless benefit. I've got a blank canvas here we can work with. Let's take a look at the World Cup. Time to look at our first little slide there in terms of our first result for South Africa. What an opening it was. South Africa, a tight match, beating Wales 17 points to 6. Paulie, let's start with you on this one. 17 points to 6 over Wales. Was that good enough?
You know, I think it was.
Yeah.
The guys really fought during the Tri Nations, and the guys have been under a hell of a lot of pressure. And to come out against a pretty good Welsh side, and to guts it out and to win like that, I thought the guys did very, very well. And it's about time the Springboks had some luck. Yeah. Also nice to see a couple of the guys who should have been starting, Willem Alberts, Francois Ogaard, getting a chance and actually performing. So hopefully the selectors and everybody has now seen who actually needs to be on the field to actually make the Springboks spark.
Egan, I mean the Welsh, a lot of people say, oh, pathetic score. But I mean the Welsh is no easy outfit. Eh?
No, not at all. I mean they've proven in that game that if you're going to take them lightly, they're going to punish you.
Yeah.
They made a few mistakes, a penalty, everybody. It's a big talking point. At the end of the day, the result says that we won. And in a World Cup, we'll take it as it comes.
I've got to ask you guys now, I know this might sound like a little bit of a conspiracy theory, but do you recall that the last time that South Africa played against Wales, Bakkies Botha managed to dislocate the prop's shoulder?
Yeah.
Okay, so Bakkies Botha currently has an Achilles injury. I wouldn't want to put him in that team anyway if I knew that there was maybe going to be a niggle between two players. Is this Achilles injury real?
I asked the question, how could two of our locks in the Springbok team have hamstring injuries?
Yeah, what is going on? We're immediately within the first week we're battling. Is it just a precautionary thing? Because I know that Jean de Villiers is a little bit precautionary, Victor Matfield a little bit precautionary, but if this is serious, we've got real trouble. Johan Miller, Victor Matfield, Bakkies Botha, Brian Abada, Jean de Villiers.
Yes.
This could be potentially... Paulie, it could be a potential disaster for us.
Yeah, Jay, I think you must get Professor Tim Noakes on the phone there. I think he'll have an answer for us. He's got all the stats of how many games the guys have played.
What did we
over
say
the
at
last
the beginning of the
few years.
year? That the Super 15 season is too long?
Yeah.
What,
no,
100?
It's longer next year anyway.
It's longer,
It's longer next year. Oh, well, let's just play rugby. Like, I mean, look, I love the fact we can, but I mean, it is hell of a draining on the team. Eh? It's extremely draining. Your opinion on some of the other, let's just quickly look at some of the other fixtures then coming up for South Africa over the next couple of days, folks. Yes, it will be this Saturday, South Africa against Fiji. The kickoff there is at 8 o'clock. Yeah. We can't take Fiji lightly, Egan.
Yeah. You know, we're looking at the other teams in our group. Also, Samoa was looking absolutely awesome. So at the moment, you know, you're going to take Fiji and you're going to have to get over that hurdle. Forget about what happened the last World Cup. They will get a lot of inspiration from that.
Yeah.
But that was the last World Cup. It's done and dusted.
Yeah.
We're here to get the job done, get our combinations right. With the injuries, maybe it's a blessing in disguise to give those other guys a run. So at the end of the day, we got to win on Saturday because we got to win our group.
Yeah, Paulie, you've played against the Fijians, especially at sevens. I mean, and some of those sevens players are actually in the Fijian side. I mean, we have to be careful there, right?
Yeah, just watching the guys play the other time. That lock is a lock who plays with Fiji who plays sevens. Yeah. So those guys are actually phenomenal athletes.
Yeah.
But again, just to echo Iggy's words, I think if we just have to take it one game at a time, and if the guys stick to the structures, I don't think Fiji could live with the Springboks.
No, we should take them. Namibia, we should take them. The danger team has to be Samoa. Mr. H? Daai Samoans is bloody groot, né?
What's a little bit of it? The way they bumped the guys off and run right over them, you know. That look like they all remind you of a Jonah Lomo type.
Yeah.
You know, every one of them, you know.
Yeah, no,
So,
it's just.
but
I mean, they beat Australia just the other day.
Yeah, that's true.
So we have that's the danger team.
Yeah.
But we just need to get through the group phases.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about anything else right now. It's not about points. All we just need to do is be the top two in the group.
Yeah.
Right. New Zealand's performance so far, opening game.
Yeah, you know, the host nation, they've been under pressure. They've been playing well, even though they lost the last two games in the Tri Nations. They have been playing well.
Yeah.
And they showed that they are going to be the team to beat. They went into this World Cup as #1 team.
Yeah.
And they're proving that they're gonna put up a big fight.
Ireland seemed to be playing quite nice rugby, Paulie.
They did. They played very well because the USA side and again Canada, though, both North American sides, they've put a lot of impetus on improving their rugby over the last couple of years.
And we saw that today with Canada beating
Tonga. They beat
Tonga.
You can see it.
But I think people also possibly overestimated Tonga and underestimated Canada. Yeah. Mr. H, we've got quite a few South Africans that are going across the play for Canada.
The one thing that bothers me right now is, you remember what happened to the French soccer team here in the World Cup?
Yes.
They fell apart.
Yeah.
The rugby is exactly the same situation right now.
Right.
The players are talking openly on Facebook about the coach's behavior and his selection.
Yeah.
So that can't be good for that team.
And Igor, I see Graham Henry for his match against Japan is fielding a string team, but at the same time Japan is also fielding a second string team. Hey?
Well, look at what the French coach did. He's dropping his captain also.
Yeah, but with the French are mental.
So,
right?
you know,
okay, the French just they blow hot and cold. You never know what's going to happen.
So who's playing an A team and who's playing a B team?
We don't know. What I do know is that we played our third team just the other day. All right, so let's quickly look at some of the other link-ups and just for South Africa that you can expect over the next couple of days. South Africa and Fiji, and then of course it's South Africa and Namibia next week Thursday at 10 o'clock, and then on Friday it is South Africa against Samoa, and that will of course be our matches within the group phases. It's been a fantastic show. Look out for us this weekend. Tigerberg against Collegians. That's going to be a rocker. We want all of you out there, and both of you clubs, Tigerbergs and Collegians, you must promote it. Egan, Paulie, Mr. H, thank you very much.
Thanks,
next week, same time, same place. We'll all be on the track.
Keep it real.
Keep it real. Keep it real, yes. We'll see you guys next week, same time, and see you on the track on Saturday. Make sure you tell your friends and family. Everybody must be out there. We'll be there in the Kreefgat. Bye-bye.